Hip Hop Marvels podcast. You want that? Your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop and Marvel. We got it live from your block to the comic shop.
Okay, out there in Marvel Land, face front, this is Stan Lee speaking. You've probably never heard this before, so anything is liable to happen.
It's your boy DJ Dub Floyd in the place to be, and in the place to be is DJ Dub Floyd. This is the Hip Hop Marvels podcast, INBETWEENERS. INBETWEENERS is the segment where we showcase marvelous people doing marvelous things. And the guest I have tonight is a dope individual. His love for nerd culture and hip hop is equivalent to mine. He reminds me of myself a lot, and he's a West Coast representative. So we're gonna have him on here in a few. So I'm talking about Joshua Brown of Nerdz and Hip Hop. Dope movement, dope platform. I've been following them for a while now, and I like what I see. I love the awareness he's bringing to both cultures. What's up, Dakini Crystals? Dakini Crystals, what's good? Appreciate you joining the live feed. Just trying to get things started before I bring Joshua on. Remember to listen, share, rate, and subscribe to the Hip Hop Marvels podcast. It's available on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Stitcher, and much more. If you have a question, a comment, suggestion, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com. Shout out to everybody joining in on the live feed. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. That's at Hip Hop Marvels, Instagram and Twitter. That's Hip Hop Marvels, all one word. Facebook. And subscribe to the new Hip Hop Marvels YouTube channel. It's not much content up there now, but we have a gang of content coming and on the way. So be on the lookout for that. The podcast will be up and running very soon, and we got a lot of dope guests, man. I wish I could reveal a lot of them to y'all right now, but a lot of dope guests. We're going to be picking the brains of some dope individuals who share the same passion as we do, and man, and just continue to push the narrative forward and to keep pushing this dialogue between hip hop and Marvel, because there's definitely a relationship there that spanned long before now. So we just want to keep showcasing that, and the guest I'm gonna have on tonight that I'm gonna be chopping it up with, he understands that narrative. We're a little bit more appreciated. Mr. Miranda, oh, you already know, man. You already know. That's what's up. Man, I've been meaning to holler at you too, man. Cause rest in peace, Thaahum, man. He put me on to your music and stuff, man. And man. That was my guy. So big R.I.P. to Thaahum, and we'll connect. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody joining in on the feed. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get it cracking here in a minute. So like I said, listen, share, rate, subscribe to the podcast. We have a lot of dope content up now. You can go back and check out some of the past episodes. I mean, we had everybody from DJ Eclipse to Big Sant, Wordsworth, Irv Ford, Precyce Politix, Keith Murray. But just go back and check out some of the previous episodes, and trust me when I say we got some dope content. We're growing, we're slowly growing, and we appreciate all the support and all of we appreciate everyone's interest in what we're trying to do. We kind of honed in on one specific niche and one specific subgenre, within the geek nerd culture, and we're just trying to shed light on that and show the similarities between that and the culture of hip hop. So, yo,
hey, what's good? What's good?
What's good, my brother? What's good?
Man, chilling. How's it going, man?
Man, it's work. As a content creator, you know what we do, man. It's a lot of. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of work, bro. But like I said, man, I appreciate you taking the time to chop it up. It's been a long time coming, I would say, because I feel like I've known you already. And that's what the culture, the blurred geek nerd culture does, man. It connects people, and without even having to meet face to face or even hear their voice yet. You know what I'm saying? Which is similar in the case with us. You know what I mean? It's our first time meeting, but I feel like I already known you, like you one of the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, for real, yeah, I'm loving it, bro. Because like I said, I was like, y'all page, I love it because it's like, okay, that's exactly what that's what I'm talking about. That whole vibe is a similar vibe, and you know what I mean. And the fact that y'all, when I reach out and everything like that, y'all willing to connect, that's a whole nother thing of beauty, man. Like unity is so important, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That plays a big part in the blurred geek culture. I think because like I said, growing up, I've always been a geek, always been a blurred. You know what I'm saying? But I came up at a time that it wasn't that cool to be one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? In school you would get bullied and chased and. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is everybody thought you were a simp or a punk. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it wasn't even that because I grew up in the hood, but my focus was elsewhere. I was trying to escape. So so through all of that, through all the geek culture, pop culture, whatever, I found it in a chance to actually escape my hood, where I was from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I tell people that all the time, man. Like my mom. You know what I mean? She grew up, first graduating class at Crenshaw High. Like, you know what I mean? I'm an LA native.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Word.
So it's the fact is that she knew what was up. Like, you know what I mean? So she didn't let us just chill outside all the time and everything like that. She's like, yo, be about something. Come home. When like, the street lights go off, you come home. So, a lot of my friends didn't do that. A lot of my friends are still outside, chilling, hanging, like, why you can't do it? And I was like, I don't know. But I know if I do. So it was like,
right, exactly.
Games, shows, movies, everything that you could think of that was nerd culture, we just did, not knowing it was nerd culture at the time, but just that was our escape.
Right.
Like, I mean, that was living through movies and shit like that. That's how we were able to deal with what was going on outside in another form of reality.
Definitely. And before we get into everything, that's crazy you said that because that was for me. That's why combining my platform, combining hip hop and Marvel per se fit for me because growing up, I read a lot of comics, but specifically Marvel comics, and what drew me to those, and I've said it many a times on the podcast and everything, it's the thing that drew me to them were the fact that they had a lot of realism in it. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of reality in those stories. And not to mention some of the, geographically, some of the places were actual places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with that, it helped me relate a lot to it. And a lot of these superheroes, believe it or not, whether they're white, black, or whatever, they went through some serious human problems. You know what I'm saying? That you can relate to, everyday problems. So, and then, where hip hop comes in is hip hop is pretty much reporting that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have this one entity giving these great stories of human trials and human life, and then you have hip hop pretty much relaying that information and relaying that story and that narrative out to the masses. You know what I'm saying? The same way. So yeah, that was part of it that worked it for me. But before we get into you, along the way, like I said, this is gonna be a candid conversation. Two homies, you know what I'm saying? along the way, if you have any questions for me, man, because I know this is our first time interacting, feel free. Man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm planning to have fun with this, man, like a mug. Only Ronin was good. I gotta let you know too. I'm just randomly shout people out. Sometimes I do that. And
do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Nah, do your thing, bro.
Show my people some love. That's what it do. So yeah, man. Like I said, just to touch on what you said, like, you know what I mean, right before we go delve into it, like, you know what I mean, hip hop and nerd culture, every time I talk about this, I tell people it's just like, it was always one and the same for me, man. I was, like I said, I was the kid with the remote control, with the video game controller and my headphones on all the time, man. I lived this, man. I used to like seriously bug my brother to make burn CDs for me, man, just so I could do, like, you know what I mean? So I
for real, that's how it goes, man. For real, man, that's how it goes. You know what I mean? I mean, I could talk. It's crazy because sometimes I try to figure out which, because I have love for hip hop and I have love for blurred geek culture, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I sit and I think, like, if I had to talk about one or the other for a certain amount of time, like, how long would I go on? Because it runs deep. You know how that goes. Like, when you start a conversation, whenever if it pertains to nerd, geek culture, or hip hop, like, you feel like you could talk for days. But like I always like on some competitive type shit in my brain. Like, I'm always like, which one? Like, if there was a timer on both, like if I had two separate conversations, like how long could each one run? Yeah. Because you know what I'm saying? Because it runs that deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could go for a minute, bro. Like I said, for me, it's like. There's so many different aspects of nerd culture, man. It depends on which one you're talking about. And the same thing with hip hop for me, man. It's just like it depends on what we talking about. If we talking about my favorite rapper, if we talking about how I feel like hip hop should go, or which direction I think it's going. Or with nerd culture, it's like, are we talking movies? We talking anime? We talking games? Because wherever you going, like, I'm like, you know,
it's so many different roads. Yeah, so many different roads. And you know, to add to that, I and this is why I dig what you're doing too, and we'll get into that. But you know, there's a slew of different platforms out there, whether they're talking about all blurred and geek culture as a whole, or they're breaking it down. There's even a few blurred geek culture / hip hop brands out there. The thing I dig about you guys' platform is the fact that you even hone into more. It's like you kind of straighten up the microscope even more, and that's that's telling to me, because that's exactly what I try to do with or I'm trying to do with hiphopmarvels. You know what I'm saying? Just honing in, because okay, we know Marvel is of the geek blurred nerd culture, but it's a sub-genre of it. You know what I'm saying? And I chose to hone in on this one particular sub-genre and kind of team it up with the whole of the hip-hop, culture. You get what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
So, and it's still like an even playing field when you look at it. It's just so crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so with you guys, I noticed that you delve more into the nerdcore hip hop scene, which I think is totally dope. And the fact that you showcase that, because now you're giving these artists a particular platform, which is much different from a lot of these other platforms out there. So we're gonna get into it. So, like, since we're on this, what is the genesis of Nerdz and Hip Hop? Like, how what's your origin story? How did that come about?
Well, definitely, man. I with a lot of people, when I'm talking about this, I kind of go into when I first started my comic, graphic novel, so to speak, but I want to do it a little different and say pretty much the origin of it was me seeing a need for it. Like, saying it was a real need for it, I felt like. And I wasn't sure how much people gravitate to it, but I knew that they would. Like, saying, because it's ministering to the kid that was like me. Like, that, just kind of, you've always walked that middle line. Like, saying, you've always walked the middle line. And it was just like, I felt like Nerdz and Hip Hop for that kid would be like finding home. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think about that a lot. And then I was thinking about also like unity, like, you know what I mean? Like this, I seen something dope with the whole Blur movement and everything. Like it's like I tell people a lot of times, it's heavier in the East Coast. It's coming out here to Cali a lot more. But you know what I mean? It's like, once it does, I see the same way that hip hop started. Like, you know what I mean? Hip hop started very East Coast, it's New York, like, you know what I mean? And then it's just like it came toward the West, and I feel the same thing with the whole Blur movement, man. I feel like it's gonna be a really huge, beautiful thing, not just to capitalize on, but for us to uplift each other as a people.
Yeah, exactly. It's a community, man. Like, it's crazy. I feel so much more like camaraderie than any other, like, you know, groups social groups or whatever that I've been a part of. And this is coming from an ex-military dude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, the camaraderie and the brotherhood and you know the fellowship within this community. It's like overwhelming at times in a good way. You know what I mean? So yeah. So like, how does the genesis of Nerdz and Hip Hop, how does it actually like pertain to, you know, your upbringing, like how you were, you know, brought up? I know you mentioned before, you know, you were into, you know, certain nerd, you know, geeky things, but how did it, you know, have an impact on your upbringing?
Well, basically the whole thing is that, like I said, I walked that middle line for the longest, man, and it's just like, I never really knew how many other people did, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like a lone feeling thing, but at the same time, it was very great because it gave me something to run to on either end, like, you know what I mean? So now that's what I want to do for people, like, you know, like I could jump in this conversation, like you were saying, like, you know what I mean? I could have a hip hop conversation, or I could have a nerd culture conversation, and I feel like because of that, you know what I mean, for you know, whether it was my race, another race, anything like that, I was able to just have a conversation with so many different people because we all are impacted by nerd culture and hip hop culture. These are two of the biggest cultures in the world right now, like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's also my little piece of trying to help the whole world out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I just
you right.
You know, that's the end game goal, bro. Like I tell people, my end game goal is to have big ass super concert like Coachella, but meet San Diego Comic-Con vibe, like, so we could all just enjoy.
I can definitely rock with that, bro. Like, that's I can definitely like a convention / festival type shindig, bro. Like, word. Like, I would definitely, if any way, shape or form I can contribute to that, I definitely would be down.
So you already doing it. You already doing the hip hop marvels. That's what I'm saying. Like, all I need is more people like you and the other people that are already doing what they're doing, and all I need is everybody to unify, and we can create something so immensely beautiful, bro. Like I said, they're already doing a little bit with BlurCon and other stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want it to be monumental. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, definitely.
Real.
Of and for the culture, though, for real. You know what I'm saying? Of and for the culture. You know, so it's crazy because this is how candid it is. I jumped right in. Didn't even introduce you. And then give a chance for you to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself or whatever. So, you know, I'm here, you know, everybody listening, I'm here with Joshua Brown of Nerdz and Hip Hop. Like I said before, it's one of the latest platforms I've been, you know, honing in on and you know, watching and digging for the, you know, the past few months. And, you know, they focus on hip hop and nerd geek blur culture, but along with that focuses on nerdcore hip hop. And like I said, we're gonna get into that a little bit more, but you know, give people a quick little summary of Joshua Brown, Nerdz and Hip Hop.
All right, what it do, people? You know what I mean? I'm Josh from Nerdz and Hip Hop, man. If y'all don't know me, shame on y'all for not coming to my page. No, I'm just kidding.
Y'all make sure y'all get there. Make sure y'all get there right now. And then come back. Check them out. Go there, check them out. come back to Hip Hop Marvels and then check the rest of it.
Yo, no worries. It's all love, man. Like I said, Josh Nerdz and Hip Hop. What's good, Crazy 8? That's my people right there. But
okay.
You know.
Yeah, Crazy 8. Yeah. See, I put on to him through you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how it works. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, continue.
Definitely, man. And like I said, we have crazy stuff in store for everybody coming up, man. Our whole goal is to have like the more nerdcore central World Star Hip Hop. And like I said, I'll be bringing that website to you guys really soon. So be on the lookout for that. Crazy 8, we're also pushing his album right now, Animated. That's lovely. He popped up right now. Perfect timing,
which is crazy. Shout out to Crazy 8, man. Big fan of yours, man. So you can thank Joshua, you know, for that, you know, that link right there, man. Big fan. Love the album, man. Definitely gotta get you on the platform as well to pick your brain too, sooner or later. So yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so yeah, man. Like I said, I got an array of different topics that we can just dive into. One of them being, you know, so with the Marvel universe, there's many characters, many different personalities. So, which of the Marvel characters, hero, villain, anti-hero, are you most like or most relate to, and why?
This is the most lovely question. And you just opened up a can of worms, bro, because I'm about to hit somebody with this. I'm about to touch somebody like the pastor. So it was always Spider-Man for me. It was always Spider-Man for me since I was a child, bro. Like, my first toy I can remember was Spider-Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always had one, too. And the reasoning behind that whole great power comes great responsibility, that whole, you know what I mean, just him being pretty much just a regular dude that lives pretty much damn ghetto, trying to, like, you know what I mean, pay his rent. Like, you know, he live with his aunt, all that kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Some real shit, like I was saying earlier. Real life human problems. You know
exactly. And decides to come out of himself, bruh, to do something great for others. Like, you know what I mean? It's such a testament, like, you know what I mean, of who I am as a person, man. Like, you know what I mean? I don't go into all this stuff like that, man. I had some law trouble as a youth. I did, like, you know what I mean, some things, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just like, I'm just the type of person that, you know, I would give my shirt off my back in a rainstorm, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just to, like, despite everything that I've gone through, like, you know what I mean? I want to give back. That's what I want to do. And that, you know what I mean? You can thank Stan Lee for that, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever the direct writer was for that. But, you know, that was my image of what a hero does is no matter what that person's going through, they find some sort of way to give back. And, you know what I mean? And not showcase the pain, but showcase the love. Like, instead, like, you know what I mean? The love that they have for humanity. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
On some real Jesus stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's dope, man. Like, you gave that was like, cause I, you know, this is part of the repertoire when I, you know, have guests. Like, I asked them that because there, like I said, there's an array of different personality types within the Marvel universe. Like, I mean, you know, I have yet to have somebody say, yeah, you know what, who I think I relate to MODOK. Or somebody, you know, or I relate to Kang the Conqueror, or, you know, so, but it can go there. You never know. You know what I'm saying? It can go there. You never know. So, you know, that's why, you know, I asked that question. Before I go further, shout out Spence. What's up, man? What's good? Glad you checking in. You know what I mean? You know, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell them to come on back. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so, I want to know, like, how important is nerd, geek, blurred culture to you? Like, how important? Because, you know, like you said, I know you mentioned that you want to use it to give back and to kind of, you know, to pretty much do some type of good within the community. And same here. I have the same sentiments as well. So how important is that to you? Man, it's immensely important, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It helps so much. Like, you know what I mean? Real quick, shout out to my boy Clutch, my nigga Slick Cool, was goody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But besides that, it's so important, bro, because I feel like nerd culture is what the world needs. Like you're saying, and when I say that, I'm saying in the simplest form as an escape. The same way, like, not saying that all the world should escape from their problems and not stress, no, but like, man, nerd culture, things in nerd culture helps people remember childhood, helps them find a place of just,
man, you hit on that so much. Like, I always say, like, I'm always an advocate of my inner child, right? Now, you know, I'm gonna put this out there, you know, my age and everything. I'm 39. I'm pushing 40. I'll be 40 next year, right? But it's never too late. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm modeling my business plan after Stan Lee. God damn it! Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's just me. You know, so. But I always, you know, I'm always an advocate for, you know, kind of, you know, honing in on that inner child, man, because, I mean, you see what's going on in the world right now, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. Right? It's literally a bunch of bullshit. So, if you can, like, pull from somewhere and you know, find time to, like, deal with your inner child, man, like, it brings a sort of relief to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I promise you, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna give you all the tea, bro, because, you know what I mean, I'm loving the conversation, the back and forth, like, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna give you all the tea so that you can jump into my mind even some more, like, you know what I mean. Like, it's never too late, baby. It ain't never too late. So the gist of it is that, like, you know, in 2012, I went through, like, a nervous breakdown, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't sleep. It was hard to sleep. It was this, that, and the third for me.
Word.
And it was just like anxiety, panic attacks, all that stuff like that. And the thing is what helped me go to sleep was one of my childhood favorite movies. I put it on every night, man. It's fucking The Last Dragon. Every night. I watched The Last Dragon. But the nostalgia of that movie, me remembering when I was like freaking 5, just watching it on Channel 5 every time it came on, you know what I'm saying? It put me in a state of rest, like, you know what I mean? And then so with games, I noticed that with games, like, if I'm gaming or something like that, I didn't have no panic attack, no, like, you know what I'm saying, no form of depression will bother me, nothing. It's just,
that's so dope, man.
I was somebody else for whatever time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so dope, man, because you know, me, like I mentioned before earlier, I'm ex-military. I did a tour in Iraq, came back diagnosed with PTSD, right? And there's you know, countless medications thrown at me. You know, everybody that knows me personally knows I don't fuck with no pills or no medication. I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So they know that. So with that said, like you said, yeah, I've turned to different forms of geek nerd culture to soothe my anxiety, man. Like, you know, whether it be movies. One of my favorite movies of all time, and it's a comedy, is Coming to America. One of my favorites. I could also put up there Crush Groove. You know what I'm saying? The Last Dragon. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of old school joints that I remember seeing as a kid. Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, I'm good. Like, shoot, just give me a snack. I'm straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you was a little kid. Like, you know, give me a, you know, it's different because I'm not saying give me a juice box and a PB&J sandwich, but you know what I'm saying? You know,
it's your mental health, man. Like, we talk about it so much. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy because, like, people are always like, oh, mental health, worry about your mental health and this, that, and the third. But then, you know what I mean? Like, they'll clown somebody for, you know, being older and liking nerdcore stuff. It's like, nigga, our nerd culture stuff. And it's like, bruh, this is health. Yeah. That's part of your mental health, man. You gotta chill sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta make yourself chill sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? I took cognitive behavioral training, man, so I could start realizing a negative thought when it processes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's some real shit.
You don't think like the fact of thinking like a child, although it's biblical, at the same time, it's like a real thing. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and not put your negativity on. You think like a child.
Because it's the purest mind. Yeah.
Exactly. They always think of stuff grand scale, like this could be amazing. That's gonna be great. It ain't till
their imagination is extensive. Yeah. They have an extensive imagination. You know what I'm saying? Very vast imagination. So yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, you know, I mean to pull out, you know, all that deepness, but I mean that's key, man. Like, because especially in this given days and times, people are dealing with a lot of problems. You know, some people are out of their jobs. Some people, you know, they're not essential workers during this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, they're dealing with, you know, how I'm gonna pay my bills, how's the next meal gonna come to feed my kids. You know, so it's a lot of different, you know, bouts of depression that people are faced with. And to be able to find within yourself that inner child and, you know, a place that, you know, could be soothing, I think is the dopest shit ever. And I'm an advocate for that. Some people, you know, coming up, as you know, like I said, I will be 40 next year. But even, you know, in my early 30s, oh, you read comic books? Ain't that kid shit? Or like, you watch cartoons or anime or whatever? That's kid shit, man. Like, everybody, we out here trying to be bosses. You watching this and that, and my thing is, like, if you only knew the battles I face within my head, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's all a pastime. I tell people it's your preference, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm asking, you know, like, I love playing video games. At the same time, I know how to play chess, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, like, you gonna celebrate me for playing chess, but because I play Call of Duty, bro. I'm a kid. It's all pastime, bro. You pick which one you want, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's not for you. It's even funny because, like, you know what I mean, like my G Clutch, man, like, you know what I mean, right now, shout out to my boy, like, you know what I mean, how he does his nerdcore rap, like, you know what I mean, it's like he finds a character, like, you know what I mean, usually Robin, like, you know what I mean, and relates his life into his music, into the fiber of how he delivers it, like, you know what I'm saying, in the sense
from his perspective, like his mindset.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the connection between him and that character in a real life standpoint, and gives that out. Like, another person that does that is my man Luke Cage, and I was having a conversation.
Hey, shout out Lukey. That's my nigga. Like, he's hiphopmarvels. Look, I'm gonna tell you about Lukey, man. And I know, like I said, this is conversations they can veer off. We'll go off on many a tangent, so just know that. But so, let me tell you about Lukey, man. When I first, you know, I'm in Durham, North Carolina right now. I moved here from, you know, Northwest Georgia, close to Atlanta, right? Yeah. We're actually sandwiched in between Atlanta and Chattanooga, Tennessee. And that's how, you know, I reached out and found out about Lukey, you know what I'm saying? And actually, he's really hiphopmarvels fan, like, from day one. When he found out about, like, when, you know, because hiphopmarvels is merely 5 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I started this in 2015, but it was like, it's crazy. I had many attempts trying to get the podcast going and the movement at the same time. And then I just kind of focused on the movement and then, you know, progressed towards the podcast. But he was there from day one. He used to do these videos for us called Nerd Boy Fresh. Yeah. And you know his personality. Okay, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I love it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I appreciate what he's doing now with the Fuck You Mean podcast. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you checked out his podcast, but so yeah, big shout.
I wanted to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know he had it at first, man. Like, you know what I mean? And now we were talking about it the other day, and I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like, I'm like, shit, that sound like some real ghost shit.
Yo, it's some of the. What's good, everybody? Yo, I appreciate y'all vibing with us right now, man. This is, like I said, this is like two, you know, homies. Like, I feel like this is our first time. Let's just be clear. Let's just put that out there. This is like our first time, you know, actually vibing. But I feel like, you know, we've been in this game together for a minute, and these are like, we just telling war stories and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And shout out to him being on the West Coast. Like I told you, I got peeps, you know what I'm saying, over in San Bernardino. You know what I mean? So next time I go out, yeah, we got the link next time I go out there, because, you know, the food out there, believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? I love it out there. So, yeah, I'm definitely going back out there, and we're gonna definitely link up. We're gonna definitely link up. And look, what's crazy, not because you all was crazy. I'm drinking a drink that, just for the sake of the interview, the interaction, I'm drinking a drink that I was put on in the military by my homeboy. Shout out to Vaughn Kane. He's from the Bay Area, from Cali. But he put me on the Carlo Rossi. So I'm drinking some of that Carlo Rossi burgundy, you know what I'm saying? So he used to be like, you don't know nothing about that player. Like, you don't know nothing about that player. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my homie. The big old jug. So yeah, so shout out my homeboy Tavon Kane, man, my military buddy, man. Yo, free Tavon Kane. You know what I'm saying? He in the system right now, and praying for him to get out. Hold your head. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. Who we talking about? Lukey.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that real quick, man. Oh yeah, shout out to my boy Hyro, man. That's another rap legend in the making.
What up, Hyro?
Talking to Lukey, bro, like, the other day, and he had said, like, sometimes, some of the more nerdcore, like, people don't like his music, and I was just like, first thing I said, bro, after analyzing what he said, bro, I was hurt because the brother does his thing. 1, 2, always has nice nerdcore bars in there, bro. Even has comedy in there. So my first thing to say was, fuck them. Like, they don't like it? Fuck that shit. Because I hate gatekeeping, bro. I'm an advocate of non-gatekeeping, bro. Like, I don't like it one bit.
It's crazy.
Bro.
Look, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. In the very beginning, when the climate of the game was changing, and I'm talking about when I say the game, I'm talking about hip hop, right? We're talking about music right now. So when the climate of the game was changing in hip hop, and the sound, the sound was different, starting to go somewhere else. At the time we didn't know where it was going, but we ended up where we ended up. So I was a very big advocate of gatekeeping. I ain't gonna front, man. Like, if it ain't hip hop, it ain't real. If it ain't pure, if it ain't. Now, don't get me wrong. If the shit whack, the shit is whack, and I'm gonna keep it all the way above. Like, we have submissions, with Hip Hop Marvels, because we have a portion of our podcast episodes called The Fantastic Four, where we play 4 joints, whether they're submitted or joints that kind of fit the criteria of what we talked about during the episode. So we have, like I said, we give out the email, and shameless plug, artists out there, any artists, producers, whatever, hiphopmarvels@gmail.com, if you want to send your work in. But to my point, if it's not hot, I'm gonna keep it real. If it's not hot, it's not hot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, Crazy 8, he said, I need parts of that Fantastic Four. Hey, you already know. That out, yo. I know it. Said I got fired. Yo. I know it. But yeah, so, to go on to that, I was a big advocate on gatekeeping. But through the years, I kind of shied away from it. Because I agree that, if like genres like rock and roll can have subgenres, so can hip hop. We don't have to classify everything as just core hip hop. Like, there could be like, true school. There could be like, if you want to call it mumble or trap rap. There could be that lo-fi hip hop. There could be, you know what I'm saying, nerdcore. Yeah. There could, all different, genres.
This is art.
Right. So I'm cool with that.
Art. Same way there's so many genres of art, like, different ways that you can express. Like, everything, like, just like anything else, like, that's a super, super solid. Anything you mix with hip hop is still relatively hip hop. It's still relative. Like, And right. I hate stifling somebody's creativity on what I think. Like,
Exactly. And that's what helped me come to that realization. Yeah, that's what helped me come to that realization, because, you know, who am I to stop someone? Like, if this is what they thought, okay, if I don't like it, I don't have to listen to that shit. Like, you know, that's just like with rock. I you know, I love all types of music. And like the genre of rock as a whole, I don't fuck with the whole genre because there's a lot of shit within that genre that I don't like. You understand? But I fuck with subgenres. Like I'll listen to a classic rock song or alternative joint, 90s joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, some grunge shit, Nirvana or something like that. I rock with that. You know, but that's like I can go to that and pick and choose what I want to listen to. And I think that's where a lot of folks within the culture or a lot of fans, they fall on the wayside at because they're like thinking that, oh, well, since it's out there, it's tarnishing the game, which that's not necessarily the case because you don't have to give credit to it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to follow suit. You can leave that shit alone and go find what the fuck you looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Or help out. See, that's why I tell everybody that Nerdz and Hip Hop is not just a following and all that bullshit. It's a community, bro. Communities help each other out. Like, I mean, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I don't sit there and at top, I heard a song that's bomb, I might run that shit on Nerdz and Hip Hop behind something. Somebody asks me, hey man, what's the song? And I'm like, yo, somebody tell him the song for me. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody might look like, oh, he don't know hip hop like he said he know hip hop.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't had the time or whatever the case may be with community. Help me out. Throw me a bone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I will do the same.
Definitely.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it helps us teach. And the thing is why people don't understand how gatekeeping is so ugly. It takes away the core of what made the shit dope in the first place. What made it fun. What made it interesting. Now you putting prerequisites in front of the shit. And motherfuckers is like, now I got to study some shit before I can have fun with this, guys.
Right. Yeah, that takes away from the whole experience and shit. Like, that's like going into a gallery. Yeah, that's like going into a gallery and having somebody explain to you, all right, so the paintings you're gonna see in this motherfucker, you know, no, let me go experience that shit for myself and decipher what the fuck I like and don't like. Like, don't sway my you know, my interest. Like, don't, before I even attempt to like listen to anything, like, don't sway my interest. Like, so I understand exactly where you coming from with that. Shout out to TVO 14. Yeah, he's hitting on some good points. So, you know, that was my next question. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna go into the sub-genre of nerdcore hip hop and how important are sub-genres. But before I go there, TVO 14, shout out TVO 14. He said MC's been rapping. Right. He said MC's been rapping about comics since rappers delight. True indeed. And Nucleus Jam on it. Okay. That's dope you said that, TVO. So you're right. You're 100% right. And this is why, that's another reason why there's so many, it's crazy because there's a lot of reasons why the inception of Hip Hop Marvels popped into my head. That being one of them. Listening to early hip hop and listening to them talk about characters that I'm reading about. That shit was so dope to me. Like, cause I'm not the only one. Hold up. I'm not the only one. Like, you know, when I heard Inspector Deck mention Spider-Man, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On Protected Neck, like, that shit blew my mind. I'm like, oh shit, so this nigga must know. You know what I'm saying? He must know some shit about Spider-Man. He ain't gonna say that shit on a record for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So even before that, like he said, Nucleus and you know, Africa Bambaataa is those are like two of the earliest I know that kind of gravitated towards you know, comic books and stuff, and Marvel in particular. They had an artist who done their album artwork by the name of Mookie. What's good, bro?
Hey.
But
just had a
you
whole
know,
piece on you, bro.
yeah, we just for real, man. Peace to the gods, bro. Word up. But yeah, so going back early on with Nucleus and Africa Bambaataa, you know, they worked with a artist at the time who worked for Marvel. His name is Bob Camp. Bob Camp is the same guy who went on to later create Ren and Stimpy, the cartoon for Nickelodeon. So, but he first worked at Marvel. and they hired him. This is hip hop folks hired this guy to do their album cover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it extends that back far into time to where the marriage between the two, happens.
It's so much. It's on so many wavelengths, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. What I was trying to do with this, and people can see it, and some people can't. You know what I mean? But they'll start to understand it as I'm going through it. Like, I was a rapper at one point, and I was heavy with metaphors, bro. Everything that I do means something. If you ask me, I'll tell you.
Hey, same here, bro. Same here. Like, it's crazy. That's why I said you remind me of me, bro. But yeah, go ahead, man.
So, you know what I mean? You have the 5 elements of hip hop, and everything that I do with this, with nerd culture, with the nerd part of it, it ties in. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you go with the 5 elements, let's start with MC. And so we said nerdcore, MC.
Wait a minute, you said 5. You said 5. What? So that's an interesting take, because originally there's 4, but you said 5. And it's crazy. I should ask you this. I had this question locked up for you later on, but shit, like I said, we can go all over the place. But before you mention that, you said 5 elements of hip hop. I want to know what that 5th one is. So go ahead and break it down. Okay, so you got MCing, you got DJing, you got B-boying, let's see, the knowledge, and there's one other that I'm missing. So it's MCing, DJing, B-boying, the knowledge, and something else. Damn it, what was it? Graffiti.
Yes. My man, there you go. Graffiti.
But it's crazy you said knowledge too, right? Because all right. So this is the question. I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question now, right?
Yeah.
So this question I ask a lot of folks that come on the show, on the podcast or whatever. So we know there's 4 elements in hip hop, and I'm gonna dwell on this even more. I'm gonna elaborate, but there's 4 elements in hip hop, like you said: b-boying, MCing, DJing, and graffiti, bombing. You know what I'm saying? So, and we all know there's 6 stones of gems in the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
So, what are 2 more elements you would add to hip hop to make hip hop's Infinity Gauntlet? So let's say you get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, look, you see, you already know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got DJing, MCing, graffiti, bombing, and you have b-boying, right? That's 4.
Yeah.
You need 2 more elements. Now, you said 5 because knowledge is that one that's like, it's an element, but like a lot of people, like in the 4 core elements, it's not really all the way included all the time, but people add it. It's kind of like in Marvel, you have 6 Infinity Stones, but you have like 2 more extra ones. I forget like what they're called, but like one's pink and ones are like, so you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
so it's like they're like part of the bunch, but they're like, So which 2 would you add? So would knowledge be one of them?
No, I would say
for you.
Knowledge is broad. Knowledge is a little too broad. I would say, if we want to go somewhere like that, versatility. Okay. I would say that instead of knowledge. And then let's see, what's another one? Ooh, good one. I want something that's not surface deep. So I gotta. You gotta give me a few seconds. Let me ponder this.
That's what's up though. That's what's up. I was gonna say that for last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin Rosario R. He said knowledge rules all. You damn right though. You right on that, bro. You damn right,
big brother, man. I promise you.
Shout out Nick. Shout out Nick _DYSG. He said knowledge and beatboxing. 2 dope ones, definitely. Beatboxing, yeah.
That's gotta be one.
That's under that like beatboxing / producing, like
because
definitely,
kind of covers it, but at the same time, I don't feel like it covers.
It's not necessarily like what I'm saying. You can't do a whole album with. Well, you can do a whole album with break beats, but I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, it's up for debate, but
I would say producing though too. Like I would say, yeah, that's a good point. So I would say versatility in producing, because just because you're a producer don't mean you're a good DJ. Like you can't. Like I mean, some people can do both, I'm sure, but like you know what I mean, it's those are two different elements. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. So yeah. So you said, DJing, producing, and versatility. Okay, that's it. I mean, not DJing, beatboxing, producing, and versatility. Okay, that's dope. That definitely works. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy you brought that up, because I was going to. I normally save that one for the like coup de grace of the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of the, but that's dope. I think that's dope.
Let me tell you how I feel like they. Can I tell you how they feel? I feel like they connect to the nerd culture though, real quick. I gotta get that off.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so like I said, the MCing part, we got nerdcore MCs, like you know what I mean. So there, that's how that connects on that part of you know what I mean, the elements. You know what I'm saying? DJing, you got nerdcore DJs, bro. They be scratching and mixing in anime records, like you feel me, like you know what I mean.
Word.
So albums, like you know what I mean.
Word.
The one that I say connects the most is graffiti art, like you know what I mean. Art in itself, like you know what I mean, is a big part of nerd culture, and then graffiti art being that part of that one of the 5 elements of hip hop. Then you got b-boying, you got cats that's b-boying and hip hop dancing and cosplay, like you know what I'm saying, like you know what I mean. And I record all this stuff. I record all this stuff, like you know what I'm saying. So like
we posted a few of them up on hiphopmarvels, but you're right, you're 100% right. Like it's like all of the elements are like meshing with geek and nerd culture, and I'm talking about each one specifically. Like,
yes,
it's crazy. Like, that's crazy.
And that's what I'm trying to showcase. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why sometimes people looking like, yo, you all over the place with it. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff to cover, and like nerd culture goes even deeper. You can go into tech and all that shit. Like, I'm sparing those motherfuckers.
Right. Yeah, you just like holding in on one joint. Like, shit, you don't want me to like span the universe on some Thanos shit, like, you know what I mean? Word up, like, you don't want me to, go search around for all the goddamn stones. You don't want me to have all the damn stones now, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want that smoke. You
don't want that smoke, man. When I get all the stones, shit, it might be too much for you, bro. You know what I mean? But, I just wanted to know how important, like I said, nerd, geek, blerd culture is to you.
Yeah.
Because it's important to me. Like, we delved in on it when we were talking about, mental health and, how that plays a part in bringing out your inner child and submitting to that. How important do you think it is? How important do you think nerd geek culture is to you, like individually?
Individually, it means a lot to me, man. Like I said, it's for the same reason that I'm saying it should mean something to somebody else. It means that to me. Like, it is my escape. It's always been my escape. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the world going bad outside, cool. It's been like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not cool, but, you know what I mean? But, it's for all intents and purposes, you know what I mean? Me playing a video game or something like that gives me a release for a minute. Like, me watching a good movie gives me a release for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, anime, whatever the case may be, whichever one I choose, I'm getting a release from what this world is, and I'm watching somebody's creative point of view on what this world is. And creation is the mother of everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So our ability to create is what makes us different than animals, bro. Like, our ability to create is such a gift. You know what I mean? If somebody don't believe in God, that's cool, but I believe it's a gift from God. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we're able to create as He creates. Like, you know what I'm saying? So me watching people's creativity is a thing of beauty for me. Like, you know what I mean? It takes me to the simplest form of life.
Word. I mean, you know how strong, like, you hit it on the head. You hit the nail on the head with creation. I mean, it's crazy because both of our platforms are birthed from another creation. You know what I'm saying? It's like birth from two creations, you know what I'm saying? Like, geek and nerd culture is the I guess the hub for many different creations of, that particular genre. And in hip hop, we already know where that derived from. You know what I'm saying? Cedric Ave, the Bronx, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
you know, shout out to DJ Kool Herc. You know, so like these are, you know, both of our platforms are birthed from different creations, and that's the power of creation. You know, the power of creation has the power to inspire also. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's key. And if you know, as a creative, if you hone in on that, then you know you can go far in this industry, man. So like, what would be your advice to somebody up and coming, like, you know, trying to get into you know, geek, nerd, blerd culture, or get into hip hop? Like, you know, what would be some sound advice that you would give them?
I'm gonna do a 2-part on that, if you don't mind, because it's like them trying to get into hip hop, as in, well, let me ask you this though. When you say get into hip hop, do you mean as in trying to be like an MC or producer, like be in the business part of it, or just enjoy it as listening to it?
You saying, no, I'm saying for someone trying to be into the business part, like trying to accomplish what we do. That is a good, yeah, because the other one, I know that's kind of,
that's a big.
I know that's, yeah. That one is, yeah, you be, yeah.
You trying to be in there, my advice to them is, you trying to be in there, boy, you gotta be thick-skinned. You gotta be thick-skinned, and it's just as, I don't care if you're the dopest motherfucker to ever spit any lyric, and everybody on your block, everybody in the world, everybody on your social media tells you that good, that's good. But you gotta believe it, one. You gotta believe it. And then two, you have to be the most consistent motherfucker that you know. Like, you know what I'm saying? People like Gary Vee will tell you shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the God honest truth. You can't get around it. It's your work ethic. That's why people be like, oh, why that weak rapper? He made it, man. How he make it? Because that motherfucker would not give up. He was the most relentless, hard-workingest, whack motherfucker that you've ever seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a misconception, bro. Like, when you got talent, you sit there and think your talent is going to be the everything, the end all. Nigga, that's the end game for you. Like, that's the gauntlet. The infinity is no, nigga. It's not. Right. It's not. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You got to go hard.
Yeah, that's you know, and it's crazy because I get asked that, you know, when I'm on other people's platforms and they ask me that question. Yeah. I get asked that too. You know, like, what piece of advice would you give to someone trying to come up in the game? And like I said, like you said, my thing would be just be relentless, man, persistent than a motherfucker. Like, just be like, stay on top of it, because I'm gonna tell you, there was times, and even as an MC, like before hiphopmarvels was ever even conjured up, back when I was in high school, going to school, then going to work, and then going to the studio, staying there all night, coming in late, mama mad as hell. You know, it got to the point where mama was like, she made me go up to my job and quit my job because I was staying at the studio so much. And it was embarrassing because it was a female up there that I liked at the time and shit, and I just felt embarrassed. I was like, Ma, you gonna really make me like go up there and like, man. So, but living that lifestyle and, you know, constantly pushing, but then getting to a point to where when my son was born, having to like give it up and not continue. You know, that would definitely be my advice to anybody up and coming trying to do this. You fast forward a little bit more, you know, I'm in high school. I'm good with the art, good with the pen. You know what I mean? That's at the time I had dreams of even, you know, illustrating for Marvel. Didn't push it. You know what I'm saying? Ended up joining the military. And like during that time between me graduating high school and joining the military, I was heavily like MCing still, trying to make that pop, but didn't chase it as much. Went into the military, got deployed, came back, hit the DJ scene real heavy, hit the mixtape circuit. You know what I'm saying? I was prominent in that because I was relentless. I learned from the past. And by me doing the DJ thing and being in the mixtape circuit, it opened up the lane for me to go back to school, study media, and then delve into what I'm doing now. But I constantly stayed at it in some way, shape, or form, and that's my advice to people that's up and coming.
Yeah, you have to, man. You have to. Oh,
keep
shout out
keep
to
at
Holly.
it, man.
What's goody, Holly? How you doing?
What's good? But yeah, that's the thing.
Podcast. And like my man was saying, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, Abe was saying, also Plus was just saying, like, you know what I mean? Is they refuse to be outworked. All ego aside, like, you know what I'm saying? You refuse to be outworked. That's the thing that's my creed now, man. Like, because what stopped me in the past, I let too much stop me. That was the thing. I let things stop me that were outside of my control and everything like that. Right. You know what I mean? Getting in a lot of trouble, doing this, that, and the third. But at the same time, it didn't have to stop me. I allowed it to stop me. And I decided when I started Nerdz and Hip Hop, Indoor, General Joshua comics and everything like that, is I'm not allowing myself any excuse anymore. I'm not allowing myself to be stopped. So with that, what happens is that it's even a passage in my my comic that I say that, you know, the character says, like, I don't care how good somebody fights. I don't care how big of a warrior they are. How do you be a person that will never stop fighting? How do you do it? You can't. Like,
for real. So that's why I relate. That's why, like, right. That's why now, like, my mentality now is that of Wolverine, man. Logan did. Like, it don't matter what. This dude is the shortest, like on a physical level. Like any other, like, you know what I'm saying, characters. Some of them are way bigger. Like this dude fought the Hulk. Come on now, we know that's a mismatch like a motherfucker. But Wolverine's relentlessness is fucking beyond, like, it's top notch. Like, it's unmatched. Like, you can't, this dude would, you know what I'm saying, he'll go up against anybody and he don't give a shit. Exactly. And he'll keep going and keep working at it and keep working at it and keep working at it. He's like one of the most relentless characters in the Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like that, and that's the mentality I have going towards my dreams, man. You gotta be relentless. You gotta be Wolverine towards your dream. Oh, bars. Hey. Wolverine towards your dreams. Like, word up, for real. Word. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Yeah. So we would definitely relate on that piece of advice. You know what I'm saying? Regenerate, lyrically poetic. Regenerate that work. Word up. Word up. With the bars. Word. Crazy 8 said, gotta be a combination of relentless and tenacious. Yeah, word. Definitely. You're right about that. Definitely. So, but yeah, so, all right, so we're gonna dive a little bit into, like, what's going on, and I'm gonna bring you a little bit into Hip Hop Marvels world. We talk a lot about the MCU and stuff like that. I know you know, as a blurred nerd, you know what I'm saying, you keep up with this. But so what do you think about all the new castings in the MCU now, like lately? You know what I'm saying? We got, I've seen they're looking for black writers for the new Blade, starring Mahershala Ali. They got Oscar Isaac. He's just been cast to be Moon Knight. They just cast Miss Marvel, you know. So what do you think about all of these? I think they cast She-Hulk as well. Yeah, so there's like a slew of different new characters that are going to be introduced, you know, within the MCU. So what do you think about all of the new faces coming to the MCU? And do you think they will hold up to, you know, expectations?
I mean, that has yet to be seen, so I'm gonna let them have that little leeway. But at the same time, I'm loving it because this is what I wish for as a kid, man. I was just like, damn, like, you know, when I was young, like, like, you know what I mean, mid '90s and all that, it was like, you know, it wasn't popping like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was not, I was not in the superhero world, like, you know what I mean? So for them to keep bringing these characters to life, and the fans are definitely like a help in this because they're consuming it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what the love of it is. It's just the fact that they seeing, like, yo, these people want more. So they're like, yo, give it to them, give it to them, give it to them, give it to them. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's like, right now, it reminds me of, like, I don't remember the late 90s, bro, when it was, like, a scary movie run. Like, I swear to God, I was making scary movies. Like,
yeah, everybody was, I mean, you had, like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Faculty, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially the teen ones, teen scary movies and stuff, you had a slew of them.
It was ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? So, I feel like we're on that wavelength, but better because these are characters and stuff that's been here for years, that's near and dear to you know, all age brackets heart. Like, you know what I mean? For the kids that, I mean, for the older people when they were kids to the newer kids on the block, like, you know what I mean? Like the kids
right.
Now, all of us love these characters.
Word,
all of
word.
us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it spans time, so it's just the fact that it's only gonna get more and more lovely. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm loving it though. The whole, but the Black Riders thing and everything like that, I know that's part of, you know, what's going on now. Like, you know what I mean? It's what's happening in America now is this like how, you know, people are standing up for people of color, man. Just noticing, like, you know, so we passed that whole 60 years, 1960 segregation, all that stuff. Like,
word, you right. You
right. Like, yo, y'all been doing them wrong for a minute. We see that shit. Now we got these camera phones taking these pictures of us seeing that shit. Like, it's been a thing, but it's just like, now they seeing it. It's like, yo, get them their props, man. Like, even Joaquin Phoenix, when he stood up and he got that, you know, it's a little
word. I thought that was real though.
Yeah, he even said it like, look, man, like, thank you for this, but yo, you doing my people of color wrong, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You doing my people of color, my homies wrong. Like, I ain't feeling that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
fact. Yeah,
definitely on it now, man. Like, that's helping the push for them to get their shit together, man. Like, cut that 1960s bullshit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
word, like them old wrinkly ass white men, they out the dope. Like, for real. Like, them motherfuckers, ain't nobody listening to y'all old wrinkled asses no more, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. But and that's crazy. That segues into my next question, because like my next question was like, is inclusion more prominent now?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And within specifically, well, I know it's prominent in hip hop. Like that's of us. You know what I'm saying? But in geek culture, nerd culture, is, you know, inclusion more prominent? You know, in this day and age. And I think I think you were already headed there, like, you know, when you were speaking. So, do you think so?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, you know what I mean? Inclusion is I'm gonna say a thing too with that. Like, you know what I mean? Inclusion on the fact of you know, bringing more people of color in, you know, in the Hollywood industry. But when you come to the hip hop, man, like I said, like, you know, the fact of the matter is that, yes, hip-hop is predominantly black, but at the same time, one thing about, you know what I mean, I'm gonna say about our people is the fact that we do not outcast, bro. We're very accepting, sometimes to a fault, like, you know what I'm saying? So
right, we are.
That's not even an issue, like, you know what I mean, to the point where, like, later years, it kind of became, like, like, what would you say, cultural appropriation or everything like that, you know, because we felt defensive about it. But at the same time, our core nature is always to invite people in. Like I said, what I do when I love to invite other people in, like, you know what I mean, to show love, because that's what we are. That's what we're made up of as a people, man, is love. And like I said, we need to get back to showing love to one another, very hardcore, like, you know, I said, because it's necessary. But at the same time, like I said, inclusion on that side is lovely. I like the fact that they're trying to do more inclusive things here. You know, some people would say, like, oh, they got an agenda. Well, we'll deal with that when it gets here. But at the same time, the inclusion is needed in the Hollywood scene, and I'm liking that it's happening.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, me personally, I think it's happening at an abundant rate, because we're getting a lot of backlash for different, like, characters and shit. Like, you know, one of them being, I remember when you know, Miles Morales was brought into the scene. Yeah, motherfuckers wasn't hearing that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, and Brian Bendis, you know, tried to tell him, you know, the creator of Miles Morales tried to tell him, like, yo, like, he's in the ultimate universe. Like, he's not even in the Earth 616. He's in the ultimate universe. And okay, yeah, he's here. He's not here. He's here. No, like, you know, but guess what? They brought him over to the main. Now he got to live with Peter Parker. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so now it's like now what? You know? So, but yeah, like, I think it's more prominent now, and it's great, man. We getting, you know, like I said, I mentioned Blade. Even on the DC side of things with Michael B. Jordan, set to what director or like be behind the new Static Shock joints coming. You got prominent shows like Black Lightning, Black Panther movie. Like it's so much Lovecraft Country. Like, come on now, like
that
Watchmen. Yeah,
I love Lovecraft Country, but that Watchmen, bruh.
Yeah, Watchmen's deep. Watchmen's deep as fuck. Yeah.
I was like,
yo,
you talk about sliding some stuff in there, bruh. The Watchmen is really on this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Lovecraft Country's dope as hell, and it's like it's kind of in your face with it. Like, Watchmen, it started Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. Like, and then it just weaves so much in there, so much stuff that it's just like, I was kind of concerned about the writer. Like, bro, they gonna get your ass. You better shut.
Yep. Oh shit. One time for Irv Floyd. What it do, bro? Hey, you gotta get back on the pod too, man. You know what I'm saying? We had a great, dope, wonderful time chopping it up with you at Eternal's birthday bash, man. That was before all this COVID shit. So word up. Before COVID, BC and shit. You know what I mean?
COVID is all the blockers. It's a money blocker, hot blocker.
Word. For real. So yeah. Hey, I already know. You already know, man. I definitely, I'll reach out. Word up. Salute. So yeah, shout out to Arcade. I'm saying it wrong. Arcade. Okay, yeah, I'm saying this shit wrong. Yo, pardon me about Arcade the Sage. I like that name too. That shit sound like a damn fucking.
You like them beats sound like too? Her beats is official, bro. Like.
Oh, it's producer.
Bro.
Extraordinaire. Okay. Word up.
With it, like. Man.
That name sound like a damn warrior Conan or some shit. Arcade the Sage.
Don't you get into
that shit dope as fuck. Word up. He said that Tulsa scene in Lovecraft Country had me in my feelings. Word up. You ain't lying, bro.
No, that was,
you ain't lying.
That's talking about that shit.
Word, yeah. Definitely, man. That thing had me.
I love how Lovecraft and Watchmen touched on Tulsa, bro, like that. I love that because, like I said, that's hidden knowledge that a lot of people don't know about, bro. Like, they talk about all the riots right now, don't nothing beat that Tulsa one, and that wasn't but 100 years ago, like, you know what I'm saying, just now.
Word.
And that was definitely horrific.
Word. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's one thing I like about that show. It's like that show has so many different elements to peel back from. Like, it's been a while since I saw a show like that. Like, that shit had mystery elements, had fucking fantasy, witchcraft shit. It had science fiction, like, you know what I'm saying? Horror. I mean, so many layers to peel. History, Black history, like, all rolled up into a ball. That shit is hard though. But to add to my point, like, that's great. It's like an abundance of inclusion right now. So I'm like, definitely, But I if you asked me this back when I was like 7, nah, I couldn't tell you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being honest, I couldn't even tell you. If you had asked me this like when I was, young, 6, 7, 8 years old, definitely not. It definitely changed. But speaking of inclusion, I know that you include within your the content you put out cosplay.
Yeah,
cosplay in your shed light on that, because like we do the same, but like it's crazy because we hone ours in on like Marvel cosplay solely because it fits with the. I ain't afraid to stick to my lane. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing, wrong with me going to like a Nerdz and Hip Hop to get other content. You know what I'm saying? To like, look at other, content, because that's where you guys come in and stuff too. So yeah, explain to me like, about the cosplay and when did you like first gravitate towards that to add, to bring in to your content or your platform?
Definitely. Like it was honestly, it was there from the beginning because. As I was, like I said, reaching out for a demographic that had something to do with my graphic novel, I was meeting a lot of cosplayers online, like, you know what I'm saying? And I started talking to them because I didn't know about the world of cosplay heavily like that. Like, you know what I mean? I knew of it and I knew it was a thing, but you know, it was like, I was like, okay, what's up with this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, you know what I mean? Where's this done the most? Like, you know what I mean? People was just telling me, they were telling me all about it, and I was just like, yo. And I kept looking at it. I loved it. I was like, yo, man, like this is really hot. Like, you know what I mean? This is dope. And then, you know, you get to see characters come to life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then you'll see like a black dude be like Cyclops. Like, oh shit, a black Cyclops, that's pretty fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? And they do a little hip hop behind it. They do it on TikTok a lot. And like my boy Crazy 8 just dropped that Cosplay Angel, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's hot. Like, it's dope as hell. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, also I like to say this too, is the fact of, like I said, my thing of trying to make Nerdz and Hip Hop a more of a World Star vibe. You know what I mean? You got a lot of things like twerking on World Star and da-da-da, and I'm not mad at none of that. Like you're saying, but I want to bring it back to, you know, showcasing these females got talents, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Some of these females are putting together their whole wardrobe for that. They sewing it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's a lot of work.
They might be popping it too, but at the same time, they putting together.
It's a lot of work to go on what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going into like, you know, full on modeling of a character they love and transforming it, like, you know what I mean, like flipping the gender, like, you know what I mean, like it's hot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
dope.
and word is born, and even the hybrids and shit they do. Like, if they'll take a character from this and then like mesh them together and shit. Like, bro, you looking like, yeah, dang, like how y'all flip that shit?
That's talent.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it definitely is an art form. Crazy 8, the great, you know, you said it's an art form. It definitely is. And I don't think people really realize and appreciate the time it takes for, you know, that they put into this. That's what I said, as a creative, like, what y'all see, like, is, you know, I know it's many people out there that may be watching, or they see our platforms and see, you know, the content we put out and stuff like that, but they have no idea, my nigga. Like, you know.
I ain't gonna lie to you, it makes me, sometimes it upsets me, but like, you know what I mean, I try to deal with everything, and what I want people to notice. Sometimes I leave up the little small arguments that happen on Nerdz and Hip Hop, is because I want people to know, like, that's a teacher moment, in the fact of I don't deal with people with hostility on my page, bro. I don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you something and I'll let you know about yourself, or I might throw your comment out. Like, I mean, we'll have time for that at nerdsandhiphop.com. People will be able to express themselves more, but when I'm bringing somebody to my page or inviting them by adding them because I'm trying to showcase and show love, and you come in with your hateful ass, weird ass comment, you go get that shit thrown out immediately, partner. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just what it is. Like, you know what I mean? I've had people even, like, you know, come at me for how a girl is dressed. Look, check this out. I make sure that I don't do too much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, on the page, like, you know what I mean? Where it'll either get kicked off, or where people just like, yo, Josh, like, what's up with that? Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you can't help but to see cleavage, or half a butt or something, like, nigga, get your weak ass off my page, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got time for that. Like,
for real, man. Like,
nationwide television, bro. You trying to come for me? Like, I'm like, bro, I ain't
take your ass. Like, you on, and look, it'll be them that come on there, and it be they damn second, third week of damn, you know, commenting and shit. Like, wait a minute, did you say that last week? Why are you back looking at the same ass, my nigga? Get kicked right. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yo, you back again? Like, oh, hell no. Exactly. You must like something you see in this motherfucker. Like, you know, so, yeah, I just, you know, I agree, man. Later for that negative shit, like, you know, I've said it before and I put it out there that I move on energy. I'm very, very big on energy and, you know, how it's given to me and how I give it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, bro. I can't have it though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like the fact of, oh, you know, if I showcase this person, oh, you know, that's, you know, you're not showing your page in a good light, bro. You don't know what the purpose of my page is, or if I include somebody that's of a different race and stuff, oh, you cooning, bro. No, I'm showing love. Who I want to show love to, somebody that posted or somebody that sent me something, bro. You don't get to tell me what the fuck I'm gonna post.
Right, exactly.
It's not gonna happen.
Exactly, yeah. You tell me this is my platform, nigga. Like, you go, if you hating on what I'm posting, go start your own shit and post what the hell you like to post.
Exactly.
Like, simple as that. Like, we all have, simple as that, you know. So, no, I definitely agree. So since we're talking about cosplay, Halloween is coming up. Any Halloween plans? I don't know, you know. Me, before you even go into it, me personally, like, you know, I know this COVID shit has got people restricted to the house, so that only means one thing, and that's like marathons of like horror movies and shit. Now, for me, like, you know, the younger me would, like, you know, totally be behind all horror movies, because I used to be a big horror buff. You know, actually my DJ name, well, my moniker, you know, I'm DJ Dub Floyd, Mixtape's Worst Nightmare. It stems from my love of Freddy Krueger. You know what I'm saying? Nightmare on Elm Street, which is my favorite horror movie of all time, and it still stands the test of time to this day. But with that said, lately the horror movies that have been coming out, man, have been straight. I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm like, you know, or I haven't had one that sat with me really good since like Insidious or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Other than that, like, because if it's hella gory, that's not really horror to me. That's like more so. Like, I love like grindhouse flicks, so you're gonna see that shit anyway in grindhouse flicks. Like, you're gonna see hella blood, sex, and violence and shit. But in like the horror genre, I need something. I don't know. I just need something different. But with that said, I do have a little list of what, you know, my little lineup of what I'm gonna watch. You know, the classics on Halloween. So, what are you gonna get into?
All right, so before I do that, I gotta say, man, my man Sal, right? He just said something like, you know what I mean, our conversations really helped him do like a point of something that he was going through. So that's what it's all about. And Sal, you already know it's all love, baby. Appreciate you. What I'm gonna do for my Halloween, man, I believe I got something that I have to do. I gotta check my schedule. I know it's something that I have to do that day where I'm not gonna be able to do a party or anything like that. But what I really want to do is do some mass posting, man. I want to post on Nerdz and Hip Hop, TikTok, whatever. All hip hop people who are dressing as something. I want to post that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to post. I